Alright everyone, we will be looking today at every single EX to possibly come in the future up to the current manga. I'll give a spoiler warning, but the first three are spoiler free. They're all caught up to the anime, but once we get to the 4th EX, they're all gonna be spoilers after that. So I'll give a warning, so if you only want to watch the ones that aren't spoilers, or if you don't care, of course, you could continue on to the ones that are spoilers, slash if you read the manga, it'll be up to about the very newest chapter, 1098. Let's get into the first character. So, the first character, of course, Green Bull. Some people don't think he deserves EX, but I don't know, I think every Admiral deserves an EX from now on. And of course I made him Blue Defender. I think his Wood Logia Fruit or Forest Logia Fruit would be very good Devil Fruit for defending. For skill 1 you could possibly have something like him making roots all over and maybe protecting the treasure area by making a root wall around him or something like that. And you can just block him out from the treasure area, maybe even completely, maybe not just a wall, just literally completely block out the whole treasure area. And for skill 2, I think he could have something where he turns into the giant tree stump, maybe, and he can, I don't know, just, I guess, whip around roots or something like that, knocking everyone back, something like that. And I think he might also have another special ability where he can absorb people's HP, maybe like a percentage attack. HP percentage, he didn't absorb, say, like 15% of the enemy's HP and adds it to himself, which would be really cool, I think. And yeah, I think he's gonna be Blue Defender. Here's the banner concept that I made for him. I made banner concepts for all of them. Some are good, some are bad. But I think he'll just be alone, of course. I don't think anyone will come with him. I think he'll just be standalone EX. Probably the first EX of the 5th anniversary. But let's get into the next character. So for the next character, I think it's going to be Fujitto. Of course, another Admiral. I do think he deserves EX. His Devil Fruit would be extremely OP. I think Fujitto could be anything. I think he could be Defender, Attacker, or Runner. But, I think he'll be Defender. Once again, I know 2 Defenders, but I don't know. I think he would be a very good Defender. Attacker at the very least. But for defending, I think he could have a cool skill where he just, like, slashes his sword down on the treasure area, basically knocking everyone down. And you know his like V1 version, you can knock people down for a longer period of time with the gravity ability. And then for his second skill, I think he could have something where he summons meteors that crash into every treasure area, just like Kaido, Blue Kaido skill, basically knocking into every treasure area, knocking people off them all. And I think he'll be Defender, but of course he could be Attacker. I could see that. He already has a Defender version, but it wouldn't be the first time they made the V1 and V2 the same typing. So, yeah. Next, we have Blackbeard, of course. Blackbeard will come, I think, in 5th anniversary as the main EX. He's been in the files, the game files, for 2 years now. So I do believe, I won't spoil much, but he has a fight coming up in the anime in, I think, just a few episodes. And I think it will, that will be what they will base their V3 off of. And I do think Blackbeard will be an Attacker, of course. He could be Defender, Attacker. I don't see him being a Runner in any way, shape, or form. But I do think he will be mainly Attacker. And maybe possibly Defender, but I think he will start off in Attacker form. Or maybe you could choose, maybe like Kid and Law, you can choose what character you be. You can be Attacker or Defender. Of course, in some way, he'll have to use his Dark Fruit and his Quay Fruit in some way. I don't know what he would do for skills necessarily. Of course, he has a lot of cool moves. I don't want to spoil too much from the manga, but yeah, of course he'll use one skill will be Quay, one skill will be Dark, and I think it's a perfect opportunity to make him the 2 elements, or not 2 elements, 2 types. One he could use his dark fruit in, one he could use his quake fruit in, or maybe he'll just be pure attacker, and he will just use both of the devil fruits. One will be skill 1, one will be skill 2. But yeah, I see Blackbeard being also just like Zoro, where he can switch all his types. I don't know if I would say he would be red, because I don't know, reds are like, even though it's a green meta, well, yeah, green meta, reds are running it right now. Of course they have type advantage, but still, normally that doesn't really matter. But they're still running the meta, even though they ran it last anniversary. But for the next character, then we have Flame Dragon Kaido, of course. It could also be, I don't think he's gonna start off in his Flame Dragon form, of course. They could make it happen. Black Mirror is gigantic, so I could see them making him Black Mirror side. Of course, he won't be full dragon form, or full dragon size, but he will still be pretty OP. Of course, I think he'll be attacker. They already have a defender. They already have a defender, or not defender again. They already have a run-in. They already have another attacker, but we need an EX attacker now. And honestly, Hybrid Kaido should have been attacker, in my opinion. But he will be an OP character. I think he maybe just start off in base form, maybe transforms into hybrid with skill 1, maybe transforms into a dragon form with skill 2, something like that, or maybe his flame dragon can be some kind of nuke skill like Z skill or Luffy skill. But I think Kaido will be extremely OP character, and I don't think he will come this anniversary. It is possible, but I think he might come in 5.5 anniversary. Alright, now we get into spoilers before I move on to the next character. So if you do not want to be spoiled by the manga in any way, I would click off. If you don't care or you already read the manga, keep watching, I guess. And for the next character, of course, we have Shanks. Of course, it's not really a spoiler just to say Shanks is EX, but I'll tell why he's will be another EX. I know people are like, another EX Shanks, but it's going to happen. It's got to happen. So for him, I made him blue again. I think blues really need a buff. Like, Claw is really good right now, but other than Claw, there are not that many blues. Cracker, and that's the only two I can really think of that can actually somewhat compete in the metal. Of course, Shanks, he could be any type. He has extreme speed, just as he's shown in the Film Red movie. Of course, extreme attack. Of course, I think he's going to be attacker mostly, but he could even be defender, I could see. But of course, his skills could be something like what he did with Green Bull. He basically sniped him with hockey. I could see like a skill where his hockey just goes out of control and just goes in random directions, hitting random people, stunning them. And then skill 2, of course, Kamsari. It's gotta be Kamsari, his main attack. Of course, he used it on Kid in the manga. It was a gigantic one. It was even near Roger's first Kamsari. Of course, Roger probably could make it bigger too, maybe. Or maybe Shanks just perfected the move somehow. But Shanks, I think, will be an extremely OP character. Probably the main character of an anniversary once again. But I don't think he will come till maybe 5.5 Annie. Maybe it will be some kind of Yonko themed something, maybe. Maybe that could be when Blackbeard comes, but I hope Blackbeard comes 5th anniversary. But yeah, Shanks won't come for a while. His fight with Kid won't happen for a while, and they won't make him into an EX until it happens. Alright, next character is Kuan, of course. Another semi-admiral. Of course, he's not admiral anymore, but he's probably the most OP of the admirals, other than Akainu, of course. And of course, this is the one from Blackbeard's crew, the 10th Titanic captain. Of course, Kuan is, we found out. Of course, Kuan fought Garp, and he did a lot of cool things. Of course, in the end, he won against Garp, of course, with the help of the other Blackbeard pirates, but that doesn't make him any less non-OP. And his Ice fruit is probably one of the best Logias in the series. And I think he'll be an extremely OP EX character. I think he'll be defender switching into attacker. His ice fruit would be a perfect devil fruit for defending. Make ice walls, make ice, I don't know, like barrier. Just he could do anything. Freeze the enemy that's grabbing it. Maybe something like Tessero's ability where if he hits someone grabbing the flag, turns them to gold, except he turns them to ice. And he'll just be a really good staller / defender. Alright, next character, of course, leading into Garp. I do think for Garp's banner, Kobe will come with him as a bounty vest, just like on the Kid and Law banner, Killer came, or on the Shanks banner, Ben Beckman came. But, of course, Garp will be the EX. Kobe, I could honestly see becoming EX with that move he did at the end, but I think Garp will be the only EX. And, of course, he will have some kind of hockey punch, maybe, something like that. And then, of course, skill 2 / his nuke skill. I think it'll be a nuke skill, like Luffy's and Z's skill, mostly. Which will be, of course, Galaxy Impact. Really OP ability that he has. And I don't see any other way of making it. And, of course, he'll be attacker. There's 0 chance I see him being a defender or a runner. He's got to be attacker. I mean, he's one of the strongest, physically strongest characters in the show. So if he's not attacker, I don't know what they're doing. Alright, next character is Kuan, of course, another admiral, which I love that admirals are finally being shown in the manga so we can get EXs of them. Because at the moment we only have 2 non-pirates as EXs, which are, of course, Akainu and Z technically isn't even an admiral anymore. So, Kizu, of course, runner. He's got to be runner, fastest character in the show, pretty much. Of course, Shanks could catch up to him, but I still think he's the fastest if he actually went all out. And he would have OP abilities. I could see one of his skills being how when he was fighting Gear 5th, he made basically shadow clones. He made clones of himself, and I could see him that being a move where the clones go off in different directions, distracting the enemies, and make it so the enemies have to destroy those clones. Make it so they can actually start grabbing flags and stuff. So it's not just a decoy, but it actually stalls the enemy from getting away from you, so you can go off and grab another treasure while they have to deal with the clones. And of course it can't be too OP, so if you get hit once as the real version of the clone / the clones, the clone will disappear, but if you get hit, I would assume that all clones would just instantly disappear, of course making it not too OP. But Kizu will be a really strong EX, I think. He'll be probably the best runner in the game when he comes out, I guarantee. And next character then is Figurlin, of course. Probably Shanks' father. It's not confirmed yet, but it is highly hinted at. And I do think he deserves EXs as one of the Celestial Dragon's top commanders. He's got to be strong. And in God Valley, he probably scarred Whitebeard. I don't know if you've seen the theories, but Whitebeard basically said to Shanks once, "My scar aches when I see your face." And people think that was Figurlin that scarred him. And of course I think he will be attacker, because of course it's been stated that he is just extremely OP and strong, and he was trying to go fight everyone in God Valley. From what we've seen, it's only been 1 chapter, but he again probably fought with Whitebeard, stuff like that. And I'm not too certain on his skills. He hasn't shown too much in the manga yet. Of course we'll get more to him, but seems like his sword, maybe he uses his sword just like Shanks, infuses Conqueror's Hockey into it, stuff like that. And of course he could have really cool attacks with Hockey plus his sword. And the next character, of course, God Valley Whitebeard. Prime Whitebeard, probably the strongest version of him. He of course was in God Valley. We've seen him in that 1 chapter again arriving to God Valley. Not sure if he had a devil fruit yet. We'll have to see more of God Valley Whitebeard, but either way, Whitebeard deserves EX. He's deserved an EX for the first EX. He should have been honestly an EX, or his first prime character should have been EX, but they made Roger and Odin EX instead of Whitebeard for some reason. Of course Roger deserved it, but I don't know about Odin. He is an OP runner, but Whitebeard I think would have deserved it a lot more. But of course Whitebeard easily deserves EX, especially the God Valley version. And hopefully he'll be OP, hopefully we finally get an EX Whitebeard. And the next character then, after that, is Dragon, of course. So far we haven't seen much of Dragon in the show, but in the manga right now we're going through Kuma's backstory, of course including Dragon and him forming the Revolutionary Army. So we will see a lot of Dragon, I believe, in the next coming chapters. Next chapter is going to be 1100, so something big might happen with Dragon in there, I bet. Probably has a wind low gear devil fruit like people theorize, slash a weather devil fruit. And I think, of course, he easily deserves EX, whether it's past Dragon or present Dragon. I think he'll be extremely OP. He could be attacker. I think if his devil fruit is some kind of wind fruit, he would be a really good defender. But I think he easily deserves EX once again, of course. And then final character that I could think of, maybe there's more, but the last character I can think of that deserves EX is, of course, Saturn. From the Gorosei, he just recently showed his OP devil fruit in the anime. And it was extremely sick. He's the one I'm honestly waiting for the most. I love his character design, and so far he just seems extremely OP with his devil fruit, exploding people's heads instantly just by staring at them, stuff like that. Of course we need to see more of him, but I think he could be a defender. He doesn't seem very, he seems very passive. He doesn't seem to be going all out attacking people. It just seems like he sitting still waiting for the right moment, stuff like that, and I think he would be a really good defender. Not sure if his devil fruit can make webs, but he is some kind of hybrid spider bull thing, and I'm not sure if that thing has an ability to make webs. I assume it does, but of course he can make webs, shields, stuff like that. He could probably just do like Black Mirror and put them in webs so they can't move. Maybe he has an ability, some kind of auto ability, just like Treble or something, where if you will, I guess, are attacking him slash looking at him, I guess, you would just get damaged. Something like that. I think he will be extremely OP EX. But that is every EX I think that will come up to the current manga. I don't think anyone else that I can think of right now deserves EX slash will get EX. But yeah, Saturn is the one I am hoping for the most.